So get this, I think the Garden of Eden was a real thing, and it's still a real possibility, and that the story of the serpent and eating of the fruit of knowledge, eating of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, was actually alluding to a real thing, a happening. So now we have to take into account my last video about the triune self, the observance of imagination creating the character that you experience as self. And that this creation, this reality we experience is a co-creation of the collective solidification of imagination into an experience. And that the tree of knowledge was our being coerced to be dependent on an external authority to tell us what's real, what's true. Be it religion, be it science, be it our education system, which is not public, right? It is a government ordained. There is a curriculum decided and voted upon of what you're educated upon. And we all know that there's many missing pieces to what we should be educated upon, but the manipulation, right? That this solidification of imagination that we call reality was hijacked. And I think you can see it now more than ever, right? Media, fear-based control, fear-based mind control, influencing the thoughts and emotions of the collective. And if you can control the thoughts and emotions of the collective, you can create reality into whatever way you see fit. And we see that in our, currently with the Olympics, the pale horseman, the soul pale, the singular pale horseman, and all the other stuff that were shown that intended to create anger, which if you're angry, you don't control yourself, and thus you can be controlled by something else. It's a whole show game to, again, influence the thoughts and emotions. Because if you think about it, what was World War I, World War II? What happened? What was destroyed? What was Tartaria? What were the old buildings? What did we understand of our old cultural selves? The idea that there was a civilization before this civilization that was much more advanced than us, right? Maybe there was perhaps a different understanding. How were the pyramids created? My contention is that it was a collective endeavor through visualizing it into existence, much like those buildings, much like many ancient monoliths. They seem impossible by our current understanding because we've lost that understanding, right? Our reality was hijacked. The simulated experience within holographic perception was hijacked, and we were given an ignorance, or our understanding was taken from us and ignorance imposed upon us so that a select group could influence the trajectory. And then also, the scarcity stuff, like why aren't there more fruit trees planted? Why aren't more, what was the whole lawn thing within the US? We must have lawns. Don't grow your own food. Have this grass that does nothing for you. Fruit trees, the global warming, but we pave everything with cement and asphalt that just absorbs and radiates heat. And the idea of oh no, we gotta cut trees down to put solar panels to save the environment, but the trees clean the CO2 that you claim is bad. All these different things that don't make sense if you actually think about it. And who's spouting these things, right? Our scientists. Not all. I'm not saying that all are bad. I'm just saying that the education that they receive is also manipulated. And so that they go through this spending of time, of money to learn these things, and that develops a type of identity which becomes hard to disassociate from, right? I went to school for 5 years doing such and such, and I went into $100,000 in debt to learn these things. How could I be wrong? Like, the whole system has been orchestrated to manipulate these. These are just some things to ponder, because it's all there, and we just have to see it, and we have to stop being distracted from all the external stimuli, pulling us outside of ourselves, separating us from our own intuition to have the ability to discern truth from fiction. But that's been robbed from us, right? Externalization of everything. Depend on the external for truth. Forget the internal. Be controlled.